Hi, this is Jason Nickleby, Assistant Director with the Minnesota State High School League, and this is training tape number one for the 2025-2026 basketball season. We have done these tapes for 11 years now, and we feel that we have never been more consistent, never been better as far as mechanics and philosophy and managing games as we are now. But with that said, doesn't mean we should rest or that we should feel that we are in the best spot possible because we can always grow and get better. And that is the purpose of these tapes is to put some plays in front of you, let you think about it from a positioning, mechanics, philosophy, rules, communication standpoint. How do we put all of those things together to be great officials and to provide the participants with the best officiating experience? So um, we've done a really good job with it. I think we've applied these things well over the years, but it's the start of the season, so we want to give you some reminders on some considerations as it relates to our mechanics and our positioning, communication, how we work with coaches, how we work with players, etc. So um, keep that in mind when we're looking at these tapes. Again, we need to look at these tapes and have them completed on the eligibility tab on Arbiter by January 25th. Don't watch them all in one sitting, although the idea is to have them be a little bit shorter and do more of them. So you have them in smaller chunks. So that's the plan for this year as it relates to training tapes. In addition to that, we have a number of resources, clips, quizzes, etc. on RefMasters, and we certainly encourage you to utilize that platform to help you uh, get better and to manage things as you go throughout the season. So please be sure to use the RefMasters platform and to uh, also um, look at these training tapes, any other resources, and use those in your pre-games and so on as you prepare for your games. So, all right, with all of that said, appreciate all of the crews and their work at the state tournament, particularly our championship officials last year. They did a nice job. We're looking at the plays from those particular games. And again, we're not picking on any one player or team, official or crew. We're trying to learn from these plays, and that's going to be the theme throughout this season. So, with that, let's take a look at the plays. Okay, in this one, we have some front court action, trail, perfect position at the 28-foot mark. The center is working lower with the action, which is what we want to do. Remember, as the lead, we're trying to mirror the basketball. I like that we're not moving just to move, but we should mirror the basketball and then close down when we get uh, the ball into the paint. But in this case, it's a quick pass that's dumped into the paint. And remember, when we have contact in the paint that is not involving a secondary defender, we're going to draw a line right down the middle of the paint, and the primary responsibility for ruling on plays in the paint would fall to the official where the action occurs. In this case, it's right down the middle, and so I would expect the lead to get this, and that's who does. Um, we use really nice spot mechanics. Just stay there and do the spot mechanics and then come out and communicate who's going to be shooting. And we should shoot here. Even though the ball goes flying, he's gathered, he's doing the act that precedes a shot attempt. And when we get whacked on the arm like this, even though the ball goes flying, this should be a shooting foul, and that's what we do. So, um, excellent mechanics, positioning, just a couple things to think about. Trail, make sure we work low, don't vacate to go out higher just because you feel you need to be there. If there's a matchup, stay there and officiate it. And that's what this trail does. And then centers, we can work lower to get into better position to see the action that we need to see. And that's what we do here also. And then the last consideration is anytime that we gather the basketball and we are in the process of trying to do that act prior to a shot attempt, we need to give them shots when there's a foul, even if the ball never leaves their hand or if it goes flying like it does here. We need to give them shots, and we do that. So, outstanding mechanics and judgment. A philosophy one on this play, we're going to have a drive to the basket where it appears that we have pretty good verticality and don't make contact with the shooter. And then we're going to come down to the other end and we hustle and get into really good position as the new lead. And we're going to have a defensive player, number 4, that is going to go from A to B and play right through the shooter. In addition, it looks like there is some arm contact. So excellent hustle to get down into the new lead position, good patient whistle, and then very nice spot mechanics, indicating that we have a foul and we're going to shoot 2, and so on. Very calm, under control. So that's all excellent. We we like to match plays from one end of the court to the next, but at the same time, that means matching similar plays with similar calls. In the play on the other half of the court, um, she just kind of puts her head down and throws it up there, and really there isn't much for contact. And then down at the other end, we have a clear A to B where she plays right through the body of the shooter. So these are two different plays. And so calling them the same, it's no calling this play because the other one was no called, wouldn't be the way that we would handle this. When it's clearly not a foul on one end and then we have a clear A to B with significant contact, we need to put air in the whistle, and we do that here. So um, good use of philosophy, great hustle, and nice spot mechanics as far as communicating at the spot of the foul. Okay, a point of emphasis this year is contact with the ball handler. Is mainly talking about arm bars. We're allowing arm bars on dribblers, which is an automatic foul. If we're going to be arm barring a dribbler, that has to be a foul. They can only use an arm bar when they are in the post, as far as a defensive player is concerned. So if we're going to put an arm bar on a dribbler, it has to be a foul. And so we have an arm bar that starts at the elbow and then continues almost all the way down the lane line. And then that's when we have the whistle here from the new center. And I like our mechanics and our positioning adjust that we do here. But we really should get this arm bar at the free throw line a lot sooner. Because again, if we are arm barring dribblers, that's a foul. And it was a foul long before it got to the point where the dribbler got past the defender on that lane line. And then if we're going to call the foul at that point, then this gets to what we talked about in the first play, that if we are gathering the basketball and um, doing that action that precedes a shot attempt. So we gathered it and we're going to move towards the basket in a try for goal. We have to give them free throws. Um, if we're going to call the armbar initially at the free throw line, no problem. Then we're going to have a throw in. And remember, any foul inside the 3-point line is going to go to one of the ticks on the end line. But when we don't call the initial armbar and we allow it to progress until the lane line there, then this has to be a shooting foul. So a couple considerations or things to remember. One, if they put an armbar on a dribbler, it's a foul. We're not talking a hand check per se. We're talking an arm bar. So they're guiding them, they're directing them where they want to go, and that's what this defender does here. So this should be a foul when the defender puts the arm bar on this dribbler and then proceeds to guide him all the way down that lane line. And then secondly, regardless of what the play is, if they gather the basketball and the contact is made, we need to give them shots. So let's put that into our philosophy as we move forward. Okay, and this last one, we're going to have a front court throw in. It's going to be deflected by the defense, good no call, and we're going to have a transition the other way. And I realize that we have this feeling that we're going to get beat back, and that's going to happen. These kids are super fast, super strong, and they're going to get down there before we do. That's just the way it is. So I really, really like the positioning of the crew here, especially the trail. We're at the 28-foot mark. We're even a smidge below. We're officiating to the percentages, which is the high percentage play is going to be in the front court and not worrying about whether the ball is stolen or deflected. So we do a nice job there. And then we hustle to get down, knowing we're going to get beat. We come to a stop at the free throw line extended and officiate it from the C position. And we've talked about that for a couple years, and this is exactly how it should be done. Comes to a stop, officiates the action at the basket, and then picks up the foul. So this is outstanding mechanics, great position in the front court, good hustle, knows we're not going to get there, so we come to a stop and officiate the play from the center position and do so accurately. And then the final thing with this is remember legal guarding position, you have to establish it legally in order to maintain it legally. So remember to establish legal guarding position, at least initially, you need to get 2 feet on the floor facing your opponent. Does it need to stay that way as far as keeping your feet on the floor or facing your opponent? No, you don't, but you have to at least do that initially. In this case, the defender never gets her 2 feet on the ground facing her opponent. She's almost running parallel with the offensive player. So then when contact occurs, the contact is illegal and is charged to the defense because the defensive player never established legal guarding position in the first place. So yes, she's straight up. That's all great, but you need to establish legal guardian position to begin with, and this defender never does that. So when the contact is made, that contact is illegal and it is charged to the defense in the form of a blocking foul. So outstanding mechanics, positioning, and rules knowledge, judgment as it relates to legal guardian position on this play. Okay, that will do it for training tape number 1. Again, we're going to do these in shorter versions, 4 or 5 plays or so, and we'll just do more of them so that you can do them in a shorter amount of time, one sitting, and get them in short bursts. So that's kind of the plan for this year. Appreciate your diligence and work so far. Keep your nose in the rules book. Uh, keep our nose in the mechanics manual. It is in a digital format, but it's there for you. Review the shot clock resources. We're doing a good job with that. And reach out to a coordinator if you have any questions about any of the information that's shared on the training tapes or quizzes or anything on RefMasters. So with that, have a great week, and we will talk to you next week.